Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Middle East crude oil conference starts in Muscat, and oil experts anticipate the oil price this year will range between 60 and 70 US dollars. More than 25,000 subscribers are recorded for prepaid electricity meters in the Governorate of Muscat. And around 95% of Tanfeed survey participants affirms its work's approach and its contribution in strengthening economic diversification. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you the detail of this news bulletin. His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al Aufi and the Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas affirmed that the new liquefied gas project in Salalah is the latest contribution in reaching national economy in the upcoming period. This came during his inauguration of Middle East Crude Oil Conference. Experts participating in the conference anticipated that oil price will reach $60 to $70 this year, saying that the price will maintain its levels for around 2 years. The event discusses challenges facing the energy sector and ways to overcome them. Fluctuations in oil prices, investments affected by global oil prices decline, and latest methods for oil production. The Sultanate presented in the forum its experiment in the sector, highlighting projects such as Khazan, Rabab and Harwil. It also shed light on economic zones in Sohar and Duqm as promising investments projects in the field of industries based on oil and gas, and Salalah National Gas Project as a new support to national economy. The forum will answer many questions in the field of energy as a number of big Arab and foreign oil companies are taking part. It will recommend the best ways for investing in the sector and available fields for investments. In his remarks to the Sultanate of Oman radio and television, His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al Aufi and the Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas stressed that the demand for benzene in Sultanate decreased last year by 4%. He added that the benzene price is estimated by many factors such as domestic demand, production and global prices. More than 25,000 subscribers were recorded in prepaid electricity meters in the Governorate of Muscat. Nama Group seeks to expand the services outside Muscat this year. This was stressed while Muscat Distribution Electricity Company signing a number of agreements. The total cost of contract reached about 15 million Omani Riyals, included reading meters and distribution of bills for electricity and water services in the Governorate of Muscat. The signing conference clarified the 4,000 subscribers that their electricity meters were read remotely by the main center of the company. The Sultanate signed a memorandum of understanding with Financial Markets Authority for Brunei Darussalam to benefit from the Sultanate experience in supervising and regulating the capital market. The memorandum included a number of terms related to secure investors' interest and enhance the safety of security markets, in addition to encouraging cooperation between capital market establishments in the two countries, including securities market, depositories, settlements and clearing establishments, along with financial services companies. The memo was signed from the Omani side by His Excellency Abdullah bin Salim Al Salmi, Chief Executive Officer of Capital Market Authority, on the sideline of the meeting held between the two authorities in Brunei Darussalam. Results of Tanfeed program survey came in positive indications, where they pointed that the number of visitors of the exhibition in social participation days reached more than 8,000 participants. The survey clarified that the participants agreed followed work approach in Tanfeed, and youth and social media are most active categories, and Twitter came in first position. Around 94.5% of the participants in the survey that they followed their work approach will contribute in enhancing economy diversification. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Activities of Iran's Solo Country exhibition inaugurated today in Oman Convention and Exhibition Center with participation of 100 companies. Welcome back to the Sultanate of Oman television, discussing means of joint cooperation and strengthening between Royal Oman Police and Republic of Germany's police topped discussions of His Excellency Lieutenant General Hassan bin Mohsen al-Shiriqi, Inspector General of Police and Customs, when he received in his office today Professor Dr. Wilhelm Schmidt-Power, Bavarian State Police, and his accompanying delegation, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. Activities of Iran's Solo Country exhibition inaugurated today in Oman Conventions and Exhibition Center under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud al-Sunaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry. The 5-day exhibition came this year to boost commerce between the Sultanate and Iran, facilitate the development of business and investment prospects, and strengthening economic relations between the two countries. The exhibition is a platform for more than 100 Iranian companies to showcase high-quality products to a new and developing markets in the Sultanate. It is also a venue for small and medium-sized enterprises, manufacturers and distributors who are seeking to increase their business prospects and expand their business. In order to develop life skills among school students, the Directorate General of Education, the Governorate of North Al-Batin, launched a program that targets excellent students in a number of schools in the Governorate. The program focuses on developing English language skills through lectures by some teachers. It also aims to instill the participating students' confidence, future planning skills, and ways to utilize information technology in the best way. The effect of a trough of low-pressure system started in the wilayas of the Governorate of Musandam. The village of Lima in the wilayah of Daba witnessed light rains. Villages of the wilayas of Khasab and Bukha also witnessed light to moderate rains, which caused a number of wadis and its tributaries to overflow. A new round of peace talks over Syrian crisis was held in Astana, capital of Kazakhstan, today. The talks were held by Russia, Iran and Turkey, and representatives of the Syrian government and opposition. The United Nations and the United States also joined the event. All parties said before the talks that implementing and consolidating the Syrian truce and anti-terrorism would be the main theme of the meeting. Military delegates were among the representatives of all parties. The Syrian opposition representatives said they would communicate with the Syrian government representatives directly at the meeting, and they do not oppose Iran's involvement in this meeting. Meanwhile, Syrian rebels vowed today to keep fighting if the peace talks fail with the war-torn country government in Kazakhstan, as the two sides opened indirect negotiations. As the new U.S. president took power officially 2 days ago, the White House announced that the initial stages of talks to implement the promise of Donald Trump to transfer the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem started in a move warned by the international community. The U.S. Embassy existed in Tel Aviv as most foreign diplomatic headquarters, and Palestinians have been demanding that Jerusalem becomes a part of the Palestinian state in the future. This action coincides with Benjamin Netanyahu's decision to eliminate restrictions on building settlements in Jerusalem after the city's municipalities council agreed on permits to set up hundreds of new houses there. Thick fog has caused numerous flight delays and cancellations at London Heathrow and other area airports. Travelers were advised today to check their flight's status before going to the airport after roughly 100 flights were cancelled and many more were delayed. The Met Office forecasting services said visibility at Heathrow had been reduced to roughly 100 meters, leading to an overall shadow or slowdown in operations. It issued a severe weather warning for London and most of southern England, as driving conditions were also hazardous and slippery. Conditions at Gatwick, London City and Stansted airports were also difficult with limited visibility. In the U.S., the tail end of punishing winter storm is lashing California with thunderstorms and severe winds after breaking rainfall records washing out roads and whipping up enormous waves over the weekend. A thunderstorm brought ashore early today northwest of Los Angeles in Santa Barbara County, where a tornado warning was briefly issued. No tornadoes were reported, but wind gusts topped 60 miles per hour. Flood watches and warnings remained in place for much of Southern California a day after nearly 4 inches of rain fell south of Los Angeles, flooding roads and freeways, toppling streets, and raising concern about damaging mudslides. And now for the general weather forecast here in the Sultanate. Partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern parts of the Sultanate, with chances of scattered rain over the governorates of Musandam and coastal areas of Sea of Oman and Hajar Mountains. Winds will be easterly to southeasterly light to moderate, occasionally active over the coastal areas. Seas will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. More details coming up. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and now before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Middle East Crude Oil Conference starts in Muscat, and oil experts anticipate the oil price this year will range between $60 and $70. More than 25,000 subscribers are recorded for prepaid electricity meters in the governorate of Muscat. And around 95% of Tanfeed survey participants affirms its work's approach and its contribution in strengthening economic diversification. Live from the news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television, we have presented to you this news bulletin. From the entire news team and myself, we do thank you for joining us. Wish you a pleasant evening and good night.